Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check the description or visit CCG Castle for more. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Pokemon TCG Center. Today we're looking at the deck for the Primal Clash on 2016-2017 standard format. So basically, after the rotation on September 1st, we are going to lose some of the expansions like X and Y, Furious Feast, Phantom Force, and the Flash Fire. So the format will go on from the Primal Clash, and basically a lot of good cards are going to be lost, like a Trevenant with the item lock. But I decided today to build a Trevenant with the Nervous Seed or Energy Increaser for the basic Pokemon's attackers. So basically, Nervous Seed says that as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attack of your opponent basic Pokemon costs 1 Colress energy more. So with combination of Trevenant Break, I can have 160 HP, so basically I can use Silent Fear and put 3 damage counters to all Pokemons that my opponent have in play, which is good. The only bad thing for this deck is that I don't have any more item lock, but I decided to run those Crushing Hammers and Enhanced Hammers, same as the Delinquent and the red card, so I can have a lot of disruptive cards, also as a Team Flare Grunt, so I have my odds against those heavy energy attack coast Pokemons like maybe Giratina, Darkrai's and stuff like that. But also when the new Pokemon Ranger comes, I guess the deck also can be even a little bit better. So also 2 Wobbuffets for the backup with the Bite Barricade, and the Psychic Assault can also do some dramatic impact for the matchups. So basically, yeah, I mean, for example, Jolteon needs to have like 4 energies to attack, Glaceon also 4, Darkrai 3, Baby Yveltal 2, some other Pokemons like, I don't know what else we have. Yeah, pretty much 1 more energy for the basics, but Evolutions does not need to have that. The only problem for this deck, I guess, it should be that the Garbodor with the Garbotoxin ability and a tool, because we just can't scrap that tool because Starly Megaphone and Zero Seek are just out of the format because they're printed in the Phantom Force and the Flash Fire. So let's see what we have in this deck. 2 Shaymis for the setup, 4 copies of Phantom with the Sanction, 4 Trevenants with the Nervous Seed, Energy Press attack, and also 3 Trevenant Breaks with 2 Wobbuffets. The good thing about that Energy Press is that you can actually hit for the 70 plus 10 more for each energy attached to your opponent active Pokemon, so that damage can actually be even more increased. 4 Crushing Hammer will actually give you a good chance to discard some energies that your opponent can actually charge, and that can give you a good bump, in my opinion. Also with Enhanced Hammer, so you can actually scrap one of your opponent's special energies from play. Single Level Ball is actually good, I guess. You can search a deck for a 90 HP or less Pokemon and put it into your hand, so that's for actually extra Phantom. A single red card can actually give you the chance to put your opponent down to the 4 cards. If you can do that on your turn 1 with the Delinquent, you can actually mill your opponent's hand down to 1 card. And if you don't have supporter card, there's a good chance that you can actually set up a little bit more. 1 level ball can also be replaced with another red card, in my opinion, but that's just up to you. Also a copy of a Super Road, 3 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Balls, and 4 VS Seekers. From supporter cards, I have a single Delinquent, so I can actually discard any Stadium card from play and discard the 3 cards from my opponent's hand. I mean, he chooses to discard any 3 cards. In my opinion, it's a very good card. Also Hex Maniac, which can help me to maybe shut down those abilities, for example, to have better matchup against Greninjas. Lysander times 1, 2 Ends, and 4 Professor Sycamore for draw. Also 1 Team Flare Grunt, so I can discard an energy attached to my opponent active Pokemon. 2 Wallies. I mean, it's always good to have Wally. It's not going to be turn 1 item lock, but also Nervous Seed can actually help you to maybe survive instead of taking some damage, because having, for example, 3 energies on Darkrai for the first attack is hard, in my opinion, without a lot of max elixirs. But also, any other basic attacker will just need 1 extra energy, so you can actually be safe on that turn 1. Also, 4 copies of Dimension Wally, so you can actually have 1 energy less attack cost, but also for the Stadium of War, 2 copies of Flowstone for the free retreat, and 8 just basic energies on this way. So I think deck might have some potential, but it's not going to be so good as the item lock Trevenant was, but we'll actually see in the game test. So if you're looking for any of these cards, as usual, you can find them on CCGCastle.com with the link in my video description, so definitely check that. So let's move to the game test so you can actually see the deck in the action. Alright guys, so welcome to the game test. Today we'll be playing with this Trevenant Nervous Seed or Energy Lock deck, so I guess I can open first, which is good. So my opening hand does not look good at all. I mean, I got 3 Professor Sycamore. I mean, I'm running 4 Professor Sycamores and 2 hand for the draw, and my opening hand is like 3 Professor Sycamores, which is just ridiculous. And I desperately need to find right there Wally, so I can actually evolve my Phantom on the turn 1. And hopefully that's going to happen, but it's not, so there's a red card. I can at least reduce my opponent hand down to the 4 cards, and I'm going with my Professor Sycamore, so let's see, another 7 cards. That looks a little bit better in my opinion. So I guess I will just maybe try to retreat to another Phantom. Do I want to play maybe Ultra Ball or something like that on this turn? I will just pass. For the next turn I can have my Trevenant, and I can actually try to search Ultra Ball for the Shaman. So there's a Crushing Hammer, it's a Tails, which is good. So the problem is that I missed that turn 1 Trevenant, and that Missile Jab can actually hit me for the 30, maybe even more, maybe even for the knockout if he plays that Muscle Band right there. I also lost my Dimension Wally, so I need to find another one. No, so there's just a Missile Jab for the 30. Alright, there's a Psychic Energy as a top deck. So I guess I will discard Hex Maniac right there and Trevenant Break. So unfortunately I don't have another Trevenant, another Shaman in my deck. So I guess I will grab just Wobbuffet right there. I need to have backup attackers, so I guess Wobbuffet is a good idea. After that, Wally for the Trevenant. Trevenant down to the bench. And for now, I will even just pass the energy attachment, because if I top deck something like Dimension Wally, I can definitely go with my Trevenant Break to the active spot. So there's Corina. Right now, he can just use that Missile Jab for the 30 with the 2 energies, which is just a highly cost tag to use. Alright, so there's Machop and a Muscle Band, so he can increase that damage a little bit right there. But for now, that Lucario is just a half paralyzed in the active spot because it can just use that Missile Jabs. Alright, so there's an Ultra Ball, but I just can't use my Ultra Ball right now. Will evolve into my Trevenant Break. And going to pass the turn, so I can actually leave my opponent to knock out my Trevenant, so I can actually just use my Energy Press for the 70, 80, 90, which would be enough for the knockout. So next turn I can actually one-hit knock out his Lucario and let him in a huge trouble, because probably he's just going to stack with the Machamp and maybe he find another Lucario with that Ultra Ball. We'll definitely find that out. So there's a rare candy for the Machamp, and definitely he needs to find way to another attacker. But without energy on the new attacker, he can just use pretty much nothing. So there's another Lucario. I mean, you need 2 energies to use Missile Jab, and that's just way important. Then again, if I can actually get access to some of my Crushing Hammers, I can just easily scrap the energies from my opponent. So, oh, actually I totally forgot, I need to find a stadium to use Energy Press. So there's a Missile Jab for the 70, which is enough for the knockout. Alright, come on, give me something good as a top deck, maybe some kind of the V-Seeker. Oh yes, I couldn't get better. Top deck, definitely. So V-Seeker will give me the access to the 7 new cards I'm just looking for a single energy or even better Dimension Wally. No sign of Dimension Wally, but there's a Crushing Hammer. Will the hammer give me the heads? Yes. And right now I will just go with my energy press right there. So I have enough for the knockout since that Lucario is weak. So it's 180. Lucario's knock it out. I can draft 2 extra prize, which means that I can actually control this game from now on. There's a Wobbuffet, so he decided to go with the Shaman. He can't even Sky Return with the Shaman, and I can just start to apply my Silent Fear and go with the 30 damage around to everyone. I also have that very important Delinquent in my hand, so I can actually cut my opponent's hand for 3 cards, so he can just get like, I don't know, 2 or 1 cards in his hand, depend on how many cards he's going to play, and it's my turn again. So I will just bench down my another Wobbuffet, 1 energy on it, then I will go with my Delinquent. So I'm forcing my opponent right there to discard a lot of cards from his hand. And I can even play my Ultra Ball right there, but I will just pass for now playing that Ultra Ball for 1 additionally Phantom, so I can have another Trevenant on the bench. For now, I will just don't do that, since I have just 2 Trevenants. I have already 2 Trevenants in my discard pile, and I guess 1 is priced, so there's a Crushing Hammer. Unfortunately for my opponent, it's a Tails. Oh, that was the Shaman, the last card in his hand, so he can draw 6 extra cards, which is good. I'm searching for that Lysander. I hope I will find the Lysander. Delinquent was good. It was actually for 3 cards discarded from my opponent's hand, but he managed to find a Shaman for the setup. So I'm not afraid right there. He has 2 energies already attached to that Lucario, but if he wants to use that Somersault kick, he needs to have 4 energies attached, and if he have 4 energies, it's just easily to knock him out. On the other side, he already have 30 damage and 2 energies, so I can hit him for the something like 180 right there. So I'm searching for that Lysander, so Lysander will actually give me the access to knock out his Lucario on the bench. No sign of the Lysander, so I will first play my Super Road right there for some of my Trevenants, so I can put them back into the deck. 1 more energy to another Wobbuffet, and another round of the Silent Fear. For the next turn, I can actually go with Energy Press and knock out my opponent's Shaman for 2 extra cards, or 2 extra prizes to be clear. And after that, all I really need is just a single Lysander. Alright, so there's AZ, and he decided to promote his Lucario. Not a big deal, I guess. All he can do is just use that corkscrew smash for like 90, minus 20. It's going to be a 70, but then again he's going to lose his Lucario with my energy press. But I can even just retreat and preserve my Trevenant to my Wobbuffet, but I guess I don't want to do that. So yeah, he just passed and leave because he don't have another options. I mean, I will be able just to knock out his Lucario right there, and he's just going to be out of the attacker. So let's move to the game number 2. Alright guys, so welcome to the game number 2. Hopefully I'll be able to start first and energy lock my opponent with my Nervous Seed Trevenant. So let's find out. Alright, opening hand. No basic, but it would be definitely good if there was at least 1 Phantom, because I would be then able to go with my Ultra Ball for the Shaman, Level Ball for another Phantom, and play a lot of different cards. So 2 mulligans for my opponent already. 3 mulligans, alright. I mean, I play like 8 basic Pokemons, so it's not that hard to draw 1 of them. So at least I have Wally in my opening hand, which can be good. Just because I can actually prevent my opponent from attacking me on the turn 1, but it's very important to me to have that Trevenant on my turn 1. So I guess I will go with my Wally right here. because I can have Trevenant break actually on the next turn. I also have my Dimension Wally and Enhanced Hammer in hand, but I just don't want to play that for now. So I will wait and see if my opponent is going to attach some of his Double Dragon energies to Giratina maybe. So I can actually Enhance Hammer it. I can actually then go with my Trevenant Break and Dimension Wally and Professor Sycamore for the 7 new cards, and I can actually start to spread 30 damage around the board. So there's an Ultra Ball. Hopefully that Ultra Ball it's going to be for hopefully it's going to be for Giratina, and hopefully there's going to be a Double Dragon Energy attachment on the third one, so I can actually scrap that energy without flipping the coin. Also, good thing, or maybe bad thing about Garbodor is that actually it's hard to... It will shut down my abilities, but I can actually one-hit it knockout because it's weak on the Psychic. But also, 4 turns of Silent Fear will actually knock out my opponent, Garbodor, and that will actually give me the access to, again, my Nervous Seed. So there's a... Oh my goodness, there's a Double Dragon Energy, so that's definitely a huge play for me. I should definitely say that. Shaming for the setup of 3 extra cards will give my opponent some chance maybe to play those Max Elixirs. But then again, I already have 1 energy down to my opponent, which is definitely good. Oh, Shaming for 1. How bad is that? When you need to play Shaming for only single cards, that's definitely not something you would expect for. Also, you're stuck in front with your Trubbish. You don't want to see Trubbish in the active spot. You want to have your Yveltal in the active spot. I just wondering why my opponent didn't start with Yveltal in the active spot. I just can't understand that. So there's a Dimension Wally, and that's very big turn for me. I mean, I already have my Trevenant break in play with Dimension Wally and 7 new cards in my hand, so I'm not going to play Trainer's Mail right there. I'm just pretty fine for now. Not going to play Trainer's Mail because maybe N can happen, and in that situation I can actually just waste my Trainer's Mail. On the other side, I can actually, on the next turn, play Trainer's Mail because I will probably go with my Professor Sycamore. There's Energy Attachment. I already have Crushing Hammer ready in my hand, so without actually Float Stone for my opponent, that Trubbish is just going to be knocked out on my next turn. Oh, very nice. There's a Pearl City, so he's going to remove 2 of his Shamans from the play. I really like that play. It's very huge. It's definitely a very huge play. There's Professor Sycamore, so he's going for the 7 new cards, and he might be even able to get that Float Stone and Garbodor right there, so he can just retreat, hit for the 60, put some energies on his bench Darkrai, so there's a Max Elixir. Oh, so he managed to find 1 of his Max Elixirs. Alright. The good thing is that he still don't have the access to the Garbodor, I guess. And as long as I don't see Garbodor in play, I'm okay. Because I can even just attach 1 energies and go with my Energy Press next turn. So I guess that's going to be the best option for me, because I can just scrap the energy. Oh. Alright. I didn't expect something like this. There's a VS Seeker for the Lysander, and another VS Seeker for Professor Sycamore. I like to see that because my opponent actually thinks that I'm playing some kind of the... Alright, right now he can't play abilities, but there's Oblivion Wing for the 30. Energy to Giratina, which is interesting always to see. Crashing Hammer. Tails, unfortunately. Trainer's Mail. I guess for Dimension Wally. I'm not going to play my Professor Sycamore, or I will play my Professor Sycamore. I'm not sure what to do right there. Just kind of confused. I'm searching for that Float Stone, but I was not able to find it. So it looks like this is going to be a energy, and I guess I might go with the M. I will actually play just Lysander for that Trubbish on the next turn. For another Trevenant, And right now I will actually spoil my opponent that I don't have item lock Trevenant in my deck, but it really doesn't matter because I'm going to play that Super Road. Alright, and this is going to be a Psychic Assault for like 40, so that's 70 damage. Next turn I can actually knock out that Evil Toll from play, but I'm thinking maybe just go for the knockout over his Trubbish on the bench. And yeah, I mean, Darkness Blade, if you get Tails of the coin flip, you can't attack on your next turn. I mean, it's kind of risky for my opponent to use that Darkness Blade, to be honest. So he's going all in right there. I already have 2 Trevenants on my bench, sitting and ready. So there's a Fighting Fury Belt. That's definitely a huge move right here with that Fighting Fury Belt. But then again, I have Lysander sitting and ready for the next turn. So there's a Floatstone for the Trubbish. Will there be a Garbodor? Who knows? And there's an Ultra Ball for the Garbodor, that's for sure. And probably he's going to hit me with the Darkness Blade. If he's going to hit me with the Darkness Blade, and if he gets Tails on the coin flip, then I will just go with the Silent Fear. Alright, no Max Elixirs, no Wandering, because you already have like 6 energies played, and you're running probably 8 to 9. Alright, I don't know. He needs to get Tails right there. Alright, so he managed to hit the Tails, which is very good for me, because in this situation I don't need to play my Lysander. I can just go with my like a Silent Fear for the 30 to everyone in play. And turn after that, I can actually decide to go with the Lysander over his Darkrai on the bench. And then just continue to use my Silent Fear. So there's a Fighting Fury Belt for the Darkrai, so that means that he will not be able to retreat. And right now, I guess it's the right time to grab that Darkrai from the bench. And also to play my Ultra Ball for the Shaman, so I can actually set up. Alright, so I will be able to set up for the 6 new cards. Oh, or maybe not. I totally forget about that Garbodor. Oh my goodness. I should wait a turn more. Never mind. I guess never mind. That misplay was huge. That misplay was definitely huge because that Darkness Blade is going to happen right now, and that Garbodor is just fat, and I need to find energy to respond in this situation. Alright, Trainer's Mail. At least something for that V-Seeker, and I'm going to grab V-Seeker for probably Professor Sycamore. I don't have another option. I need to find energy and some Crushing Hammers. 1 Crushing Hammer and 1 energy is going to be all I really need right there. No sign of the energy card, and this is definitely not good for me. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass without playing any card from my hand. I'll just play my Trevenant next turn and go with that Team Flare Grunt, probably, or maybe just with Professor Sycamore. I'm not sure yet. I need to find a way out to grab some energy. There is retreat. Oh, so he decided to retreat, so he can actually just use his Oblivion Wing for the 60 right there. Seems legit. Alright, never mind. As long as I can knock out that Garbodor next turn, I'm pretty happy with that. But to be able to do that, I need to top deck energy. If I top deck energy, it's pretty much GG, I guess. So there's a Wobbuffet and a Trevenant, and maybe even another round of the Ultra Ball right there. For maybe another Phantom. So I can have 1 more Phantom. Or maybe I can even discard it. No, I will just play 1 more Phantom down to the bench. V-Seeker for Professor Sycamore. And right now I need to find 1 energy from the 7 cards. Oh, there it is. Alright, so let's start with the Crushing Hammers. One definitely from the active, and one definitely from the Giratina on the bench if I manage to hit that heads. So there's even one more Trainer's Mail sitting in my hand, so let's see what I can find with it. Floatstone, alright, I like that. And that Silent Fear is going to be a very big right there, because I'm knocking out that Garbodor, and if my opponent wants to attack, he needs one extra energy, so none of his Pokemons in play are actually able to attack me right now. He needs something like a Lysander to be able to get rid of that Nervous Seed, but that Trevenant next turn is going to knock out another Yveltal on the bench and possibly that Giratina, so there's an Ultra Ball. Let's see what he's going to take with that Ultra Ball. So he's going to grab another Darkrai. The only option right there is to have something like, well, even with double Colress energy, you can't attack. You need one extra energy to be able to attack my Trevenant. How many Crushing Hammers I waste already? 3 of them. Alright. But I still have 2 VE Seekers and my Team Flare Grunt. I have my Lysander in my hand. I guess if I can find energy, I can just go with the Lysander for that Giratina on the bench and knock it out. There is also another Trevenant sitting in my hand. Alright, let's just go with the Silent Fear, because I can knock out that Yveltal on the bench, and next turn I can actually knock out that Giratina on the bench. Plus, turn after that I have just Energy Press for the knockout, and I guess it's a GG. I mean, it is GG. I'm very impressed with how this deck actually works. It works very well. I mean, just a tiny misplay for me when I actually benched down that Shaman, seeing that Garbodor was a misplay, but at the end I actually managed to beat the deck that was actually so hyped, and I guess this is going to be a new meta, that Garbodor, Darkrai, Giratina in the 2017 format. I can definitely see that. So there's a Darkrai and a Floatstone, alright. Luckily I have 2 VE Seekers in my hand, so I have 2 options for Lysandering his Darkrai on the bench. Of course, if I see some of his energies. I'm running 8 energies, which means that I have 3 more left, either way in my deck or in my prize cards. But my opponent is down to the 9 cards, and probably he is thinking right now how I can mill out my opponent. Probably you can't do that, because I also have N in my hand. So let's just go with the Lysander and with the Energy Press for the 70. I guess I just need to knock out, alright, for the 50, 4 times my opponent Darkrai. I still have 4 cards left. I have Floatstone, so I can actually free retreat. But let me just see how many VE Seekers he played. 3 VE Seekers. Oh, there's a Lysander for another Trevenant. I don't have another Trevenant break. Be smart. That's all you need to do. Another round of the Energy Press. I didn't attach energy. Ask me why. Because if VE Seeker for another Lysander actually happens, then I can't retreat. I just decide to attach Muscle Band, and actually next turn I can maybe even just retreat, but I can't without Floatstone. Not sure if I have another Floatstone somewhere sitting and ready. Yes, looks like I have 1 more left, so I can actually just finish the job right there with my Wobbuffet. So I guess Wobbuffet can do the job right there for 110 minus 20, which would be 90, which is enough to knock out the Darkrai. But in order to do that, I need to find a Floatstone. If the Floatstone is my next card, then it's a GG. If it's not, then I still have like 2 more turns to attack. Alright, my turn. Oh, Floatstone. So Wobbuffet is going to finish the job right there with that Psycho Soul for like 110 minus 20, which would be 90, which is 190 in total. So yeah, I actually managed to grab 2 victories. The first one was against that Lucario deck. He suffered because of the weakness, but this another was actually um, I should say Tier 1 deck in the 2017 format, that Dark Rage, Giratina, and Garbodor, but I actually managed to beat them. I mean, those Crushing Hammers and Nervous Seed are just way too much for those basic Pokemons who actually needs to have like 1 energy or 2 energies for attack cost. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more future videos. So that was the deck for the 2016-2017 Primal Clash on standard format. So stay tuned for the more videos. Let me know if you would like to see something else. I would definitely cover that for you. And let me also know what you think about this deck in the comments below. So once again, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. So goodbye.